Go to globaltravelcollection.com today and let us do the planning so you can do everything else.
Kia has 10 hybrid, electric, and plug-in hybrid utility vehicles to choose from. So which one speaks to you? Lease a specially tagged 2024 EV6 Light Long Range for $159 a month.
Now at 5, a man accused of stealing from a store in the Inland Empire and using his stepson to help. What they didn't know, the fact there was an officer in the area. What happened next?
Plus, they have spent decades in prison, and tonight the status conference for Eric and Lyle Menendez has been delayed. Just how long the new DA is being given to review the case.
And new video of a small plane making an emergency landing in Orange County, crashing into that tree there. The news at 5 begins right now.
NBC4 News at 5 starts with breaking news.
That breaking news out of Fullerton right now. That's where 2 people have been hospitalized after that small plane crashed. Good evening, everyone. I'm Colleen Williams.
And I'm Robert Kavasik. And tonight for Annabelle, this is The View from News Chopper 4. Our Hetty Chang, meantime, is on the ground with the investigation now underway. Hetty.
Robert and Colleen, we've been talking with witnesses here on the ground. We spoke with one man who was out on his afternoon walk, and he noticed the plane was flying really, really low. It almost clipped the trees you see in the background here. And you can see from our vantage point that this is where that plane ended up crashing into that tree. You can see right now that crews and workers right now were onto a flatbed truck as the FAA is going to investigate. But again, you can see from here, Artesia Boulevard, that the tree ended up going through the side of the cockpit area. So this could have been much if it hit that tree head on. Now, earlier, we showed you some surveillance footage from a nearby business here on Artesia Boulevard, and it showed the plane coming in westbound. It comes back as a Mooney fixed-wing single-engine headed westbound, almost parallel to Artesia Boulevard. It nearly clips some trees and then crashes into the tree in front of the business here. Now, 2 men, a pilot and a passenger, were trapped. They had to be extricated from the plane. They were both rushed to the hospital with what fire officials described as moderate to possibly critical injuries. Investigators could not tell us whether the plane was taking off or landing from Fullerton Airport shortly before 2 this afternoon, but it certainly appears the plane was coming in for a landing, the plane narrowly missing the runway at Fullerton Airport by about 150 yards.
And when I was walking down the sidewalk, I looked up and saw an airplane, which is the flight pattern is over the buildings right here, and I saw it almost hit that tree right there, that pine tree, and it was pretty low, and so I jumped up on the grass and I thought it was going to hit me, and then it broke part of the wing off when it hit right here on the pole, and then bounced and hit the fire hydrant and hit that tree right there.
It could have been catastrophic, more catastrophic with fire, obviously, if there had been any issues with the local businesses, with people inside. So obviously there was a fire hydrant that was hit, but other than that, there was minimal damage other than to the airplane itself.
Artesia Boulevard, which we're on right now, runs parallel to Fullerton Airport. It's mostly an industrial area, so there's not a lot of traffic in 2 in the afternoon. Again, you see that workers are here. They're trying to load that plane onto that flatbed truck. We also see a number of investigators here from Fullerton Police, Fullerton Fire, and of course the FAA is going to investigate to figure out exactly how this plane crashed. We're live in Fullerton tonight. Hetty Chang, NBC4 News.
The Menendez brothers will have to wait until next year to find out if a judge will agree to reduce their sentences.
Eric and Lyle Menendez are right now serving life without parole for murdering their parents, and a judge says he needs more time to prepare the case.
Our investigative reporter Eric Leonard was one of the only reporters allowed in the courtroom in Van Nuys today. Joins us live with more on what happened there. Eric.
Yeah, surely something of a disappointment for the Menendez brothers and many members of their family who were there today. They've been pushing to have this resentencing resolved before the holidays. Now it's going to be the end of January at the earliest. Eric and Lyle Menendez monitored today's hearing from prison in San Diego and listened in as 2 of their aunts urged the judge to let them out. The Menendez brothers told the judge they could see and hear what was happening in the Van Nuys courtroom as their mother's sister Joan testified that no child should have to endure what Eric and Lyle did while she believes they were being abused by their father. She shared her thoughts outside court.
I do want them home. They should never have been in such